You can indeed obtain 120 volts single phase, 240 volts single phase, and 240 volts three-phase from an open delta transformer providing 240 volts three-phase power. Let's break down the relationship between the three-phase and single-phase voltages. The 240 volts three-phase represents the line-to-line voltage existing between any two of the three phases. The 120 volt single phase, on the other hand, is the line-to-neutral voltage measured between a phase and the transformer's neutral point. Now let's discuss how to achieve these voltages. To obtain 120 volt single phase, connect one of the three phases to the neutral point of the transformer. For 240 volt single phase, connect any two phases together and to a separate neutral point. This configuration will provide 240 volts across the two phases and 120 volts between each phase and the neutral point. To access 240 volts three-phase, connect all three phases together. This connection will give you 240 volts between any two phases. Keep in mind that the neutral point in an open delta transformer is not a true neutral. It's created by connecting the center taps of two of the transformer windings. Therefore, it's crucial to ensure that the loads are balanced across the three phases. This is vital to prevent overloading any individual phase. An open delta transformer is a transformer type that utilizes only two of the three transformer windings. While this configuration results in a power loss compared to a closed delta transformer setup, it's often used in situations where load requirements are lower. When connecting loads to a three-phase system, it's essential to balance the loads across all three phases. This means that the total current drawn from each phase should be approximately equal. This can be accomplished by distributing the loads equally among the phases or by incorporating a phase balancing transformer. Understanding the principles of operation and voltage relationships in open delta transformers is crucial for efficient and safe electrical system design and maintenance. This is the line-to-line voltage between any two phases. This is the line-to-neutral voltage between a phase and the neutral point of the transformer. To achieve these voltages, firstly, for 120 volts single phase, connect one phase, any of the three, to the neutral point of the transformer. Secondly, for 240 volts single phase, connect two phases, any two of the three, together and to a separate neutral point. This will provide 240 volts across the two phases and 120 volts between each phase and the neutral point. Thirdly, for 240 volts three-phase, connect all three phases together. This will provide 240 volts between any two phases. Note that the neutral point of an open delta transformer is not a true neutral, but rather a point created by connecting the center taps of two of the transformer windings. Therefore, it is important to ensure that the loads are balanced across the three phases to avoid overloading any one phase. An open delta transformer is a type of transformer that uses only two of the three transformer windings. This results in a loss of power compared to a closed delta transformer, but it is often used in situations where load requirements are low. When connecting loads to a three-phase system, it is important to ensure that the loads are balanced across all three phases. This means that the total current drawn from each phase should be approximately equal. This can be achieved by distributing the loads equally among the phases or by using a phase balancing transformer. Understanding open delta transformers. An open delta transformer is a three-phase transformer bank that is comprised of only two single-phase transformers. A standard three-phase transformer bank is comprised of three single-phase transformers. The open delta connection is used in situations where the full capacity of a three-phase transformer bank is not required. It is also used as a backup in case one of the transformers in a three-phase bank fails. The open delta transformer bank is capable of providing approximately 57.7% of the capacity of a full three-phase bank using three identical transformers. Understanding the voltage and current relationships is crucial for properly applying and troubleshooting these systems. Voltage relationships in an open delta system. The line-to-line voltages in an open delta system are equal. The voltage from each line to a center tap, if present, will be half of the line-to-line voltage. For a 240 volts open delta system, the line-to-line voltages are all 240 volts. If a center tap is present on one of the transformers, the voltage from each line to that center tap will be 120 volts. This allows for the supply of both 240 volts three-phase power and 120 volts single-phase power from the same transformer bank. Current relationships in an open delta system. The current relationships are more complex than the voltage relationships due to the missing third transformer. The current in each transformer winding is not equal to the line current. The following equations define the current relationships where I line is the line current, I trans is the current in the first transformer winding, and I trans is the current in the second transformer winding. These equations assume balanced loading conditions. I trans equals I line slash square root of 3. I trans equals I line slash square root of 3. These equations show that the current in each transformer winding is equal to the line current divided by the square root of 3, which is approximately 1.732. This is different from a closed delta system where the transformer winding current is equal to the line current divided by 3. Open delta transformers are typically used to supply power to small commercial and industrial facilities. They are also used in residential applications where three-phase power is required. When selecting an open delta transformer, it is important to consider the load requirements of the facility or residence. The transformer must be sized to handle the maximum load that will be placed on it. It is also important to consider the voltage and current requirements of the loads. The transformer must be able to provide the correct voltage and current to the loads. Open delta transformers are a cost-effective way to provide three-phase power to a facility or residence. They are also a reliable way to provide backup power in case one of the transformers in a three-phase bank fails. When selecting an open delta transformer, it is important to consider the load requirements of the facility or residence and the voltage and current requirements of the loads. Three-phase power calculations and considerations. Calculating three-phase power involves understanding the relationships between voltage, current, and power in a three-phase circuit. The formulas used depend on whether the circuit is wired in a Y or delta configuration. Both configurations are common in electrical power distribution. Three-phase power offers advantages over single-phase power, including higher efficiency and smoother operation of electrical motors. Y configuration. In a Y configuration, the three phases are connected to a common neutral point, forming a Y shape. The voltage between any phase and the neutral point is called the phase voltage, while the voltage between any two phases is called the line voltage. The line voltage is equal to the phase voltage multiplied by the square root of 3, which is approximately 1.732. The current in each phase, or phase current, is the same as the current in the line connected to that phase, or line current. The total three-phase power in a Y configuration is calculated as follows. Power equals square root of 3 times line voltage times line current times power factor. The power factor represents the efficiency of the circuit with a value between 0 and 1. Delta configuration. In a delta configuration, the three phases are connected in a closed loop, forming a triangle shape. There is no neutral point in a delta configuration. The voltage between any two phases, or line voltage, is the same as the voltage across each phase winding, or phase voltage. The current in each phase winding, or phase current, is equal to the line current divided by the square root of 3. The total three-phase power in a delta configuration is calculated using the same formula as the Y configuration. Power equals square root of 3 times line voltage times line current times power factor. Calculations examples. Let's consider an example of a 480 volts three-phase system with a line current of 100 amps and a power factor of 0.8. Assuming a Y configuration, the total power is calculated as follows. Power equals square root of 3 times 480 volts times 100 amps times 0.8. Power equals approximately 66,476 watts or 66.5 kilowatts. For a delta configuration with the same voltage, current, and power factor, the power calculation remains the same. Power equals square root of 3 times 480 volts times 100 amps times 0.8. Power equals approximately 66,476 watts or 66.5 kilowatts. Important considerations. When performing three-phase power calculations, it is important to ensure that all units are consistent. Voltage should be in volts, current should be in amps, and power should be in watts. The power factor should be a decimal value between 0 and 1. It is also important to consider the effects of unbalanced loads. If the loads on the three phases are not equal, the voltage and current in each phase will be different. This can lead to overheating of equipment and other problems. In such cases, more complex calculations are required to determine the power in each phase. Understanding these basic calculations is essential for anyone working with three-phase power systems. These calculations allow for the proper selection of equipment, sizing of conductors, and troubleshooting of electrical problems. Additional resources, consulting electrical engineering handbooks, using online calculators, and seeking guidance from qualified electricians or engineers can provide further assistance in understanding and applying three-phase power calculations. Phase balancing and load distribution. Phase balancing is the practice of distributing electrical loads evenly across the phases of a three-phase power system. This ensures that each phase carries approximately the same amount of current, which is crucial for efficient and reliable operation. Unbalanced loads can lead to several problems, including increased current in some phases, reduced voltage in others, and potential damage to equipment. Causes of imbalance. Imbalances in three-phase systems can arise from several sources. Single-phase loads such as lighting, appliances, and single-phase motors are a common cause. These loads draw current from only one or two phases, creating an imbalance. Uneven distribution of these loads across the phases exacerbates the problem. Another cause is uneven distribution of three-phase loads. If one phase is heavily loaded while others are lightly loaded, an imbalance occurs. Faults in equipment, such as short circuits or ground faults, can also cause significant imbalances. Effects of imbalance. Unbalanced loads can have several negative effects on a three-phase system. Increased current in one or more phases can lead to overheating of conductors and equipment, potentially reducing their lifespan or causing failure. Voltage drops can occur in the heavily loaded phases, affecting the performance of equipment connected to those phases. Unbalanced voltages can also cause three-phase motors to run inefficiently and overheat, reducing their lifespan. Furthermore, unbalanced loads can increase energy losses in the system, leading to higher electricity bills. Methods for balancing loads. Several methods can be used to balance loads in a three-phase system. One common approach is to distribute single-phase loads evenly across the three phases. This involves carefully planning the connection of lighting, appliances, and other single-phase devices to ensure that each phase carries approximately the same amount of current. Another method is to use phase balancing equipment, such as automatic voltage regulators or phase balancing transformers. These devices can automatically adjust the voltage and current in each phase to maintain balance. Regular monitoring of phase currents is essential for detecting and addressing imbalances. This can be done using ammeters or power quality analyzers. If an imbalance is detected, loads can be redistributed or phase balancing equipment can be installed. Example scenario. Consider a small commercial building with a three-phase power supply. The building has lighting, air conditioning, and various single-phase appliances. Initially, the lighting and most of the appliances are connected to only one phase, resulting in a significant imbalance. To address this, the lighting and appliances are redistributed across all three phases. The electrician carefully plans the connections to ensure that each phase carries approximately the same amount of current. After the redistribution, the phase currents are monitored to confirm that the imbalance has been reduced. The building owner notices a decrease in energy consumption and improved performance of the air conditioning system. Conclusion. Phase balancing is a critical aspect of three-phase power system design and maintenance. By distributing loads evenly across the phases, it is possible to improve efficiency, reduce equipment stress, and prevent costly failures. Regular monitoring and proactive load management are essential for maintaining a balanced system. Open delta transformers, while offering a cost-effective solution for certain applications, require careful consideration of load balancing to ensure optimal performance and longevity. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines and regulations for electrical installations, including those involving open delta transformers. Specific articles within the NEC address transformer installations, overcurrent protection, grounding, and wiring methods. These requirements are designed to ensure the safety and proper functioning of electrical systems. NEC Article 450 covers transformers in general, including requirements for overcurrent protection, grounding, and ventilation. This article provides guidelines for selecting and installing transformers to minimize the risk of fire and electrical hazards. NEC Article 250 addresses grounding and bonding requirements for electrical systems. Proper grounding is essential for protecting against electric shock and minimizing the risk of equipment damage. This article outlines the requirements for grounding electrodes, grounding conductors, and bonding of metal enclosures. NEC Article 310 provides requirements for conductors used in electrical wiring. This article specifies the allowable ampacity of conductors based on their size, installation type, and installation conditions. It also includes requirements for conductor identification and protection. NEC Article 240 covers overcurrent protection, including fuses and circuit breakers. Overcurrent protection is designed to protect conductors and equipment from damage caused by excessive current. This article specifies the requirements for selecting and installing overcurrent protection devices. Open delta transformers require careful consideration of overcurrent protection due to the unique current relationships in this type of system. Because the current in each transformer winding is not equal to the line current, it is important to select overcurrent protection devices that are appropriately sized for the transformer windings. In an open delta system, the current in each transformer winding is equal to the line current divided by the square root of 3. Therefore, the overcurrent protection devices should be sized accordingly. For example, if the line current is 100 amps, the current in each transformer winding will be approximately 57 amps. The overcurrent protection devices should be sized to protect the transformer windings from this current. In addition to overcurrent protection, open delta transformers also require proper grounding to ensure safety. The grounding requirements for open delta transformers are similar to those for other types of transformers. The transformer case and any metal enclosures must be grounded to provide a low impedance path for fault currents. The neutral point of the transformer, if present, must also be grounded. The grounding conductor must be sized according to the requirements of NEC Article 250. Wiring methods for open delta transformers must comply with the requirements of NEC Article 300. Conductors must be protected from physical damage and installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Conductors must also be properly sized for the load they will be carrying. When working with open delta transformers, it is important to consult the NEC and other applicable codes and standards. These codes provide detailed requirements for the installation and operation of electrical systems. It is also important to consult with a qualified electrician or engineer to ensure that the installation is safe and compliant with all applicable regulations. Understanding the NEC requirements for open delta transformers is essential for ensuring the safety and proper functioning of electrical systems. By following these requirements, it is possible to minimize the risk of fire, electric shock, and equipment damage. Always consult with a qualified electrician or engineer before working on any electrical system. Proper planning and execution are essential for ensuring a safe and reliable installation. Also, remember that local codes and regulations may vary, so it is important to check with the local authorities before starting any electrical work.